fall of King's Landing during the Dance of the Dragons perfectly demonstrate what happens when your army is spread too thin and you are forced to make difficult tactical choices you'd rather not. In the weeks after the Battle of Rook's Rest, the bulk of the fighting had centred around the Riverlands. Prince Aemond Targaryen and Sir Criston Cole rallied their green forces to march on Harrenhal, which had previously been taken by Prince Daemon Targaryen, which left King's Landing almost defenceless. A risk they knew, but a necessary one. This created an opportunity for the Blacks to seize the capital under the Greens while their attention was elsewhere. Prince Daemon Targaryen on Caraxes and Queen Rhaenyra on Syrax flew over the capital and circled their dragons above Aegon's high hill, while their fleet and the sea snake, Lord Corlys Velaryon, then arrived to the east of Blackwater Bay. The sight of them instantly incited terror in the streets of the city below, for the small folk were not slow to realise that the attack they had dreaded for so long was at last at hand. Prince Aemond and Sir Criston stripped King's Landing of most of their defenders when they set forth to retake Harrenhal, and the Kinslayer had taken Vhgar, the fearsome beast, leaving only the dragon Dreamfire and a handful of half-grown hatchlings to oppose the Queen's dragons. The younger dragons had never been ridden, and Dreamfire's rider, Queen Rhaenyra, was a broken woman in no fit state to fight. The city might as well have been dragonless. Thousands of small folk streamed out of the city gates, carrying their children and possessions on their backs, to seek the safety of the countryside. Others dug pits and tunnels under their hovels, dank dark holes where they hoped to hide whilst the city burned. As expected, rioting broke out in Fleabottom when the sails of the Velaryon's fleet were seen to the east in Blackwater Bay, making for the river. The bells of every sept in the city began to ring, and mobs surged through the streets, looting as they went. Dozens died before the gold cloaks could restore a semblance of peace. With both the Lord Protector, Aemond Targaryen, and the King's Hand, Sir Criston Cole, absent from the capital, and King Aegon bedridden and lost in milk of the poppy, it fell to his mother, the Dowager Queen Alicent Hightower, to see to the city's defences as best she could, but in reality, what could she do against the might of the dragons? Queen Alicent rose to the challenge, however, closing the gates of the castle and the city, sending the gold cloaks to the walls and dispatching riders on swift horses to find her son and fetch him back from Harrenhal. As well, she commanded Grand Maester Orwyle to send ravens to all her leal lords, summoning them to defend their true king. When Orwyle hastened back to his chamber, however, he found 4 gold cloaks waiting for him. One man muffled his cries as the other beat him and bound him. With the bag pulled over his head, the Grand Maester was escorted down to the black cells. The riders sent to warn Prince Aemond never made it out of the city. Unbeknownst to Alicent, the 7 captains commanding the gates, chosen for their loyalty to King Aegon, had been imprisoned or murdered the moment Caraxes appeared in the sky above the Red Keep. For the rank and file of the city watch still loved Daemon Targaryen, who had given them their cloaks. Queen Alicent's brother, Sir Gawain Hightower, second in command of the gold cloaks, rushed to the stables, intending to sound the warning. He was seized, disarmed, and dragged before his commander, Luther Largent. When Hightower denounced him as a turncloak, Sir Luther laughed. "Daemon gave us these cloaks," he said, "and they're gold, no matter how you turn them." Then he drove his sword through Sir Gawain's belly, and ordered the city gates opened to the men pouring in off the sea snake ships. For all the lauded strength of its walls, King's Landing fell in less than half a day. A short, bloody fight was waged at the river gate, where 13 Hightower knights and 100 men-at-arms drove off the gold cloaks and held out for nigh on 8 hours against attacks from both within and without the city. But their legendary heroics were in vain, for Rhaenyra's soldiers poured through the other 6 gates, unmolested. The sight of the Queen's dragons in the sky took the heart out of the opposition, and King Aegon's remaining loyalists hid or fled or bent the knee. One by one the dragons made their descent. Sheepstealer, ridden by Nettles, lighted atop Visenya's hill. Silverwing and Vermithor, led by Hardhugh Hammer and Ulf the White, on the Hill of Rhaenys, just outside the Dragon Pit. Prince Daemon circled the Tower of the Red Keep before bringing Caraxes down in the outer ward. Only when he was certain that the defenders would offer him no harm did he signal for his wife, the Queen, to descend upon Syrax. Adam Velaryon remained aloft, flying sea smoke around the city walls. The beat of the dragon's wide, leathern wings, a caution to those below that any defiance would be met with fire. Upon seeing that resistance was hopeless, The Dowager Queen Alicent emerged from Maegor's holdfast with her father, Sir Otto Hightower, Sir Tyler Lannister, and Lord Jasper Wilde. Sir Eustace, a witness to what followed, tells us that Queen Alicent attempted to treat with her stepdaughter. "Let's summon a great council, as the old king did in the days of old," said the Dowager Queen, and lay the matter of succession before the lords of the realm. But Queen Rhaenyra rejected this proposal with scorn. "We both know how this council would rule," Rhaenyra told her stepmother. Then she bade her stepmother choose, yield or burn. Bowing her head in defeat, Queen Alicent surrendered the keys to the castle and ordered her knights and men-at-arms lay down their swords. "The city is yours, princess," she is reported to have said, "but you will not hold it long. The rats play when the cat is gone, but soon my son Aemond will return, with fire and blood." While not the last time King's Landing would be captured, it shows us how quickly even the largest and strongest of cities can be taken with ease when you have a dragon. The sight of the beasts were enough to send the population of the city to rioting, with them fleeing by the hundreds. It does make you wonder how the small folk of the city would react should the wings of a dragon ever be seen above King's Landing again, and if we might find a case of history repeating itself should Daenerys ever make it to King's Landing.